We are going to continue our study of the characteristics of the beast and look at number 5. The beast is given power for 42 months. Let's turn to Revelation 13, verse 5. And there was given unto him, talking about the beast, a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Now, what does this mean? Well, if we look at the Jewish calendar, each month has 30 days. So if we take 42 months times 30, we get 1,260 days. So does this mean the beast is in power 1,260 days? Well, there's something else I need to share with you. A day in Bible prophecy equals 1 literal year. Let's look at Ezekiel chapter 4, and let's read verses 5 and 6. For I have laid upon thee the years of their iniquity, talking about the Jewish nation, Israel and Judah. According to the number of the days, 390 days, so shalt thou bear the iniquity of the house of Israel. And of course, iniquity is the sin of the house of Israel. And when thou hast accomplished them, lie again on thy right side, and thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days. I have appointed thee each day for a year. So Ezekiel was told to do this by God, and that the 40 days regarding the house of Judah was actually 40 years. And the 390 days of the house of Israel would actually be 390 years. Let's look at another example of this in the book of Numbers. When God had brought his people out of Egypt and had brought them through the wilderness on the verge of the promised land, they sent spies into the land. They sent 12 spies. Well, they came back with reports of all the goodness and the beauty of the land, but they also were very afraid because of the people of the land. There were giants in the land. And 10 of those spies said, we shouldn't go in. We shouldn't do this. 2 of the spies, Caleb and Joshua, said, with God's help, we can do this. And so the children of Israel refused to go in. And because of this, God gave them this punishment. Verse 32 of Numbers 14. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness, and your children shall wander the wilderness 40 years, and bear your whoredoms, until your carcass be wasted in the wilderness. After the number of the days which ye search the land, even 40 days, each day for a year, shall ye bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of promise. So the spies were in the land 40 days. And so God says, because you disobeyed me, didn't believe in me, didn't trust in me, you're going to spend a year for each day. You're going to spend 40 years in the wilderness as a punishment for your iniquity. So when we look at Revelation 13:5, we see that these 42 months equals 1,260 days, which actually is 1,260 years. So power was given to the beast for 1,260 years. Now we have another example of this. Remember that Daniel 7 is a parallel chapter of prophecy with Revelation 13. And we read in Daniel 7, 24 through 25, and the 10 horns of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. Another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. This is talking about that little horn power. This is the same power as the beast power. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times. So this beast power not only would reign for 1,260 years but he would persecute the saints of God for 1,260 years. In verse 25, this time period is related as a time and times and the dividing of time. So a time equals 1 year. Times equals 2 years. And the dividing of time is a half a year. So again, when we look at this, so we know that there's 12 months in a year, and that we're talking about 3.5 years. So we go 12 times 3.5 equals 42 months. Or if we clear this and look at the days in 3.5 years, there's 360 days in the Jewish calendar, times 3.5 equals 1,260. So this is the same exact time period as we see in Revelation 13. So this beast would be in power for 1,260 years. So when does that time start? Well, Revelation 13:2 says this, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of the bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. So when the dragon gave him his power, that's when this time period begins. Of course, the dragon is that the pagan division of the Roman Empire. And the dragon declares the beast to be head of all the churches. And he declared that in 538 AD. So this is the beginning of the reign of the beast. This is when he becomes into power. So this is just a little bit more information about the characteristics of the beast and helps us identify who he is. May God continue to bless you as you study his word.